Okay, next we have Viridian Gate Online, Dead Man's Tide, a Liberty Adventure, the Illusionist book number 2, written by D.J. Bowden. It is 323 pages, $4.99. It is available on Kindle Unlimited. And here's the author's description. Viridian Gate Online is more than just a game, and now it's Alan Campbell's whole world. Recently deceased and squishy as hell, Alan, a newly minted illusionist, is forced to flee for his life. He needs time to deal with his loss, both in-game and IRL. But first, he'll have to escape his crazy ex, the treacherous Firebrand, Thalia Daceran. On his way to safety and revenge, he'll team up with Titus, the Imperial spymaster, as well as a crew of pirates, commandos, and even a shape-shifting mimic with a taste for blood. His path leads to Wyrdtide, a gaslit city hidden in mist and governed by dark demigods. But even with Alan dead, the world marches on. Will the government seize control of V.G.O? Did Horace the blind beggar really die? And whatever happened to Jeff? Find answers, new purpose, and the machinations of the gods in this action-packed continuation of the Illusionist series. So there we go. Okay, for me, this is another good story set in the V.G.O universe. Again, remember it's an expanded novel series, which means it's set in the same universe and in the same timeline as the original Viridian Online series. However, this one is set a year before the first book in that series, so it actually has a lot of room to do a lot of interesting things, and I think that's one of its biggest strengths. Of the multiple expanded universe series that are out there right now, I think this one has the best storytelling potential. Again, because it's set before any of the main events of that series, it literally has a year, and that's not counting time compression of kind of doing whatever it wants without messing with that original series. And I think that's good and bad. And it's good in the respect that the author can kind of do whatever he wants to. Even if he's messing with game mechanics, even if he's messing with like different attitudes of the gods or other characters, he still has so much room to just like explore the world, do whatever he wants to. On the bad side is that it doesn't always feel as connected to the V.G.O universe as maybe some readers would expect. Like a lot of the story feels very independent, with like the game mechanics tying to V.G.O and the gods directly like the main name and them being tied, and in the werewolf storyline, just kind of like some cameos in the second book tying it to that original V.G.O series. And for some readers that's going to be really good, for some readers that's going to leave them less interested. It kind of depends on obviously you as reader. For me, I liked it. I think that's one of the things that I like about this one as opposed to some of the other ones, is that I'm getting original storyline. I don't know what to expect because, again, it doesn't touch on the main Viridian Online storyline because it is set so far before it. So everything is new, everything is special, everything. There's still a sense of anticipation and suspense for me as a reader because, again, I don't know exactly where it's going to happen. The downside, of the course, of that is that on the real life storyline in the story, basically, it doesn't feel as important anymore. In book 1, it was very important. It really was, and I that's what I liked about it. One of the things I thought that was really well done is that it made a really big connection to the real life storyline of the Viridian Online series. And this one, it feels a little ancillary. It feels like the real storyline is just kind of there to continue on that connection, but it doesn't really have any impact yet. And that may change for book number 3. And it might subsect it really well. But for now, the real storyline just wasn't as spectacular as it was in books. I feel like most of the important events that were going to tie it to V.G.O from the real life storyline perspective happened in book 1. And so book 2 is going to be just a little lighter in that aspect. On the plus side, there's still good action adventure. The main character leaving the starting area, exploring the larger world. You get, again, new locations, new characters, new technology, new creatures to fight. One of the new characters, I should say, for me, my favorite is Nil, especially the character's background, the way they interact with the main character. I could actually see like a whole spin-off series or short story with just that character. I thought it was really, really fun and really interesting character. While I like this novel, of course, I actually liked it a little bit less than book 1 for 2 reasons, mostly. One, I'm just not a big fan of steampunk, flintlock, pirate battles, or sea battles. It's not really my thing. And those were aspects of the story. I mean, look at that cover art. That's expected. 2, again, the real shoreline just felt a little sparse and unimportant. And again, that might change in book 3. For now, that just was something that's like, it's a little bit a little bit less enjoyment compared to book one. Doesn't mean I didn't like it. I actually like the story still quite a bit. Overall, it's still good. It's entertaining. It has enough room to be its own thing, and still give you a connection to V.G.O, the main storyline universe. So for me, it gets a score 7.2 out of 10. So there we go. That's Viridian Gate Online, Dead Man's Tide, A Little Bit of Adventure, The Illusionist, book number 2 with a score of 7.2 out of 10.